Hey guys, Ricardo here from Team Beatstick, and today Dawn of Majesty has officially dropped, meaning that my favorite archetype of all time, Synchron, got some brand new support. So what I'll be doing today is showing off various main and extra deck builds, as well as a variety of combo branches to really show you guys what the deck can do. It's my favorite deck of all time, and the options are seemingly limitless, so let's jump right into it. Alright, so our ideal combo revolves around Junk Synchron, Junk Carrier, and Junk Converter. So our ideal opening hand is going to be any tuner. Stardust Synchron is the best option, Junk Converter, and either Junk Synchron or Junk Carrier. On the chance you have Synchron and Carrier in hand but no Converter, you can always Foolish to send Converter to grave because that'll allow us to start the playoff in the same manner. You just won't have that Stardust Synchron there for the initial backup. If you have Junk Converter in hand alongside tuning, you're going to prioritize Stardust Synchron. If you have Stardust Synchron in hand alongside Rhoda, you're going to prioritize Junk Converter. To start things off, we're going to say we have Synchron in hand alongside Converter and a tuner. We're going to activate Junk Converter's effect to send it and a tuner monster to grave to add one Synchron monster to hand. And that'll be our Carrier. What makes Carrier so important is that if we normal summon Junk Synchron and it gets Ash or Valor or Impermanence, that's the end of that play. But if we normal summon Carrier first, Carrier's effect gives us one normal summon of a Synchron monster, meaning we can summon Junk Synchron. So even if this gets negated here and we can't summon our Converter back, we still have a level 2 monster to sync with, meaning we still have Junk Speeder access. So our opening play here will be summon So our opening play is going to be summon Synchron Carrier, normal summon Junk Synchron through Synchron Carrier's effect, and grab Junk Converter. So now we're going to go ahead and sync 5 and summon Junk Speeder to the field. Very important that you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. If you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, you'll have 4 Synchron monsters on the field and no Carrier token. If we go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Carrier gives If we go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Carrier resolves first, meaning we get our token, which is essential to this play. So Carrier's going to activate, special summon 1 level 2 token to our field, and now Junk Speeder's going to activate. Junk Speeder is going to allow us to special summon as many Synchrons of different levels as possible, and we have 4. We have Stardust Synchron, Junk Synchron, Flourish Synchron, and Cyber Synchron. For this play, we're going to go ahead and use Stardust, Junk, and Cybers. So they're all special summoned in defense mode. Upon being special summoned, Stardust Synchron lets us add 1 spell or trap that lists Stardust Dragon in its text. So we're going to grab Arrive in Light and add it to our hand. Now, we have many options here, but I'm going to prioritize drawing on this first one, and we're going to go ahead and sync 5 with Junk Synchron and one of our tokens, or the Synchron Carrier. That'll summon TG Hyper Librarian. Now, we have the option of syncing 6 with either Stardust Synchron and the token, Cyber Synchron and Junk Speeder, or we can sync 9 with Stardust Synchron and Junk Speeder, or we can sync 3 with Cyber Synchron and the token. However, because of Cyber Synchron, we have one more different play up our sleeve. So we'll activate Cyber Synchron effect to double any level 3 or lower monster's level. So we'll take the token here and make it into a level 4. Now we'll activate Arrive in Light and we'll add Converging Will's Dragon to the top of our deck. Now we're going to take Stardust Synchron and our level 4 token and sync them into the level 8 Stardust Dragon. Now it's very important that you don't activate Arrive in Lights here. Hyper Librarian will be Chain Link 1. You have the option of activating Arrive in Light, but we're not going to do it because if we do, our Will's Dragon is going to miss its timing. So Hyper Librarian will activate and we will draw. Will's Dragon is the card we draw, we reveal it, activate its effect, and special summon. Because we have a level 8 dragon on the field, we can special summon a level 1 dragon from our deck, which will be Omni Dragon Brotar. You can activate the effect right here if you need to, but we're not going to be focusing on that right now. So now we're going to go ahead and take our Cyber Synchron and our level 1 Omni Dragon and Synchro summon the level 2 Double Star Shaman. Now you have the option of activating Arrive in Light's effect. So we're going to go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3. Upon summon, Double Star Shaman lets us special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuners from our grave or hand to the field. So we're going to go ahead and grab the level 2 Junk Converter that started off this entire play and special summon it to the field. Remember, we never activated this converter's effect, so it is still live. And then we get to draw one for Arrive in Light, and we get to draw one for Hyper Librarian. Now we're going to take our level 1 Will's Dragon, our level 2 Junk Converter, and our level 8 Stardust Dragon, and Synchro Summon Shooting Majestic Dragon. So now we're going to go Chain Link 1 Librarian, Chainlink 2 Junk Converter. So Junk Converter gives us the option of summoning any tuner from our grade. So we can go Junk Synchron, Cyber Synchron, or Stardust Synchron. We're going to go ahead and grab Cybers, however. The next big target is going to be our Crystal Wing Dragon. So we could go Junk Synchron and go straight into it with Junk Speeder. However, we want to get as many draws as possible. So we're going to go Cyber Synchron and Junk Speeder into the level 6 Stardust Charge Warrior. Stardust Charge Warrior effect activates alongside Librarians. So Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we draw 1, we draw 2. If you have a tuner in hand, you can activate Arrive in Light's effect, but we're only going to be focusing on the cards that we get exclusively out of this combo. So the cards we have in hand are just there for show. We aren't going to be using them because that would give us way too many options in terms of play. So now we're going to take our level 2 Double Star Shaman and our level 6 Stardust Charge, and we're going to Synchro Summon Crystal Wing Dragon, and we get one more draw. So our end board here is Hyper Librarian, Crystal Wing, and a Shooting Majestic Star, meaning you have an Omni Negate with the quick effect, a big Monster Hate Negate, cards that allow you to draw off a Synchro Summon, so Hyper Librarian and Arrive in Light. And we drew 5 cards which we haven't used for this combo. We're back at our little branch here. This time we're going to do things a little differently, and yet start things off the same. So Junk Synchron and Junk Carrier are going to go ahead and bring out Hyper Librarian. This time, however, we're going to take our level 4 Stardust Synchron and level 5 Junk Speeder and summon Wolf Riot. I don't have the card here, I'm sorry. Hyper Librarian is going to let us draw. That is a monster effect, meaning that Wolf Riot gets its first buff. Now we're going to go ahead and take our level 1 Cyber Synchron and our level 2 token and Synchro Summon Metal Marcher. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Metal Marcher is going to revive the Cyber Synchron we just used. Then we're going to draw one for Librarian, and Wolf is going to go ahead and go up. Now we're going to go ahead and tribute Metal Marcher to bring back our Stardust Synchron. That's going to bring Wolf Riot up once again. Now we're going to take our level 1 Cyber Synchron and our level 5 Librarian, and we're going to bring out the level 6 Stardust Charge Warrior. Charge Warrior will give us a draw. That'll bring up Wolf Riot once again. So he's currently sitting at 3,700. We activate Arrive in Light, place Will's Dragon on top of our deck, and now we will sink 10 into Blood Rose. Optional Blood Rose effect here, doesn't really matter. But if you activate, it's got to be Chainlink 2. So Chainlink 1 is Arrive in Light, Chainlink 2 is Blood Rose. We draw, reveal Wills, special summon it, and depending on what you have in hand, you can either go with Mud Dragon or Omni Dragon Brotar. If you have a non-tuner in our hand like Collapse Serpent, you're going to want to go with Mud Dragon. If not, you can go ahead and go with Brotar. So now Brotar's effect is activate. So here we have the option of activating Brotar effect. I'm going to go without it, but Will's Dragon did activate, meaning we now have a 4K Stellar Wolf Riot, meaning its effect is now live. So now whenever we choose, we can go ahead and take every monster on our opponent's field and bring them back into the deck. So now we're going to take Converging Wills and Blood Rose and Synchro Summon Shooting Majestic. Okay, so our end board here is going to be Shooting Majestic, the Omni Negate, and Wolf Riot, which at this point is fully loaded and ready to bounce back everything into the deck. In addition to that, we have drawn 3 cards. Alright, we're back at our familiar little branch here. We're going to go ahead and do the same like always, Junk Synchron and Carrier into Hyper Librarian. This time we're going to do things a little differently, so this time we're going to go ahead and activate. Alright, this time we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to have Cyber Synchron and our token go into the level 3 Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher's effect activates, and we can go ahead and grab, and we're grabbing Cyber Synchron. So now we're going to go ahead and take our level 1 Cyber Synchron and our level 5 Junk Speeder and summon Stardust Charge. That's going to give us 2 draws, one for Librarian and one for Charge. Now we can activate Arrive in Light and place Wills on top of our deck, sink 10 into Blood Rose. Remember, we're activating Librarian's effect, but not Arrive in Lights. So it'll go Chainlink 1 and nothing. So Librarian effect will activate. We draw. That's our Wills, special summon Brotar. Effect is optional here. Now we're going to go ahead and take our Will's Dragon and our Rose Dragon and summon Shooting Majestic Star. And now we draw for Librarian, like always. And here we have options. You can go ahead and take these two and sync off into the level 4 Herald of the Arclight and a draw. Or you can tribute off Metal Marcher to special summon Stardust Synchron. You can go into the level 9 Wolf Riot. You can go into the level 5 Garden Rose, and of course draw. Or we can run it back here. On Omni Dragon's summon, we can activate his effect, targeting Converging Wishes Dragon, discarding any card we drew, and adding Wyvern Buster to our hands. Now we can go ahead and sync off these into Shooting Majestic Star. We get a draw from Librarian. So here's where our options open up once again. We can go ahead and sync 4 here and bring out Herald, and then draw for Librarian. We can special summon Wyvern Buster by banishing any of our dark monsters. And then we can tribute Wyvern Buster to special summon Stardust Synchron, activating Wyvern Buster's effect and giving us Collapse Serpent. Banish the Wyvern Buster, special summon the Collapse Serpent, and now we have multiple options. We can go ahead and sync 5, we can sync 7, we can sync 8, we can sync 9. So for here, I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to sync 4 with Brotar and Metal Marcher, for Herald for the protection, and then we're going to go ahead and sync 8 for the monster of your choice. It can either be Berserker, it could be Stardust, it could be Omega, whatever you want there. And of course we will be drawing for Librarian. So our end field will be Librarian, a Herald of the Arclight, a Majestic Shooting Star, and a level 8 of your choice. You can go with the protection of a Stardust, the banishment of the Berserker, or the hand punishment of Omega. So let's say we have our Synchron carrier on the field, we summon Junk Synchron, and Synchron gets negated. It hurts, but we're still going to be okay. We're going to go ahead and sync 5 like always into Junk Speeder. Because we have nothing on field, all 4 of our Synchrons are going to hit the field at once. So in case you're afraid of Nibiru, you're going to want to grab Stardust Illumination instead. Nibiru is always a threat to this deck, so the backup plays that Stardust Synchron gives us are really nice to have. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and say we get Nibiru here. Everything goes to the grave. Luckily for us, Stardust Synchron still resolved and grabbed this Stardust Illumination. So now we have this big Nibiru on the field. We're going to activate Stardust Illumination. And with that, we'll send Trail to grave. Now we can tribute the token to special summon Stardust Synchron. Because we tributed a monster, we can special summon Stardust Trail from our grave. And now we can either sync 8 into a monster of our choice, which in this case I would recommend Chaos Ruler because we don't have access to Arrive in Light. That'll allow us to take the top 5 cards of our deck and add a lighter dark monster, which we play plenty of. Or you could play Omega or Stardust. Stardust, of course, would activate the effect of Trail and give us a token. Or you can sync 8 for a Berserker Tenyi, or an Omega, or any other 8 of your choice. Alright, once again, let's say we summon Carrier and Junk Synchron gets negated. That's fine. We will sync 5 again for Junk Speeder. Junk Speeder will bring out the rest of the Synchrons. And from here we got a couple options. You can either Synchro Climb, so sync 6 into Stardust Charge. That gives us a draw. Sync 8 into Crystal Wind. Or we can take our level 1 Cyber Synchron, level 2 Fleur Synchron, and the level 4 Stardust Synchron, totaling level 7, alongside our Junk Speeder, and Synchro summon Red Supernova Dragon. So Stardust Synchron will grab us Arrive in Light, or Stardust Illumination, whichever one you feel is better for the situation. If we activate Illumination, we can send Trail to grave again. And now we're going to take our level 1 Cyber Synchron, our level 2 Fleur Synchron, and our level 4 Stardust Synchron, making 7, and triple tuning alongside level 5 Junk Speeder, and summon Red Supernova Dragon. Now we can go ahead and tribute our Junk Synchron to special summon Stardust Synchron. That activates Trail's effect. And now we can sync 8 into your choice of Berserker or Omega, Chaos Ruler, or Stardust Dragon. And if we go with Stardust Dragon, we do get a token out of it. Alright, if we're willing to risk Nibiru, we can go ahead and grab a Riven Light instead. And now we're going to go ahead and climb a little bit. So we're going to take Cyber Synchron and Junk Speeder to bring out Stardust Charge. Stardust Charge will let us draw 1. And now we're going to go ahead and activate a Riven Light, place Wills on top of our deck, and we're going to go ahead and sync 10 into Blood Rose. A Riven Light effect activates. Wills special summon, grabs Brotar, and now we can go ahead and activate Brotar's effect and discard the card we just drew to grab Wyvern Buster. Once again, we have a couple of different branches we can take here, but the safest is going to be to sync 4 into Herald, and then sync 10 or sync 11 into Majestic, and then we can go ahead and do the following. We can summon Wyvern Buster by banishing a dark monster from our grave. And then you have the option here. You can either tribute the Fleur Synchron or the Wyvern Buster. I would say Wyvern Buster. So tribute Wyvern Buster to special summon Stardust Synchron. Wyvern Buster's effect will activate and grab us Collapse Serpent. Now we can banish the Wyvern Buster, summon Collapse, and in the most ideal scenario after Synchro Storm, we can go ahead and sync 8 here. And then post Synchro Storm, of course, we'll be able to take our level 2 Fleur Synchron and our level 8 monster and summon Baroness. So your end field will be Majestic, Herald, and Baroness, but because we don't have Baroness just yet, our end field will be a level 8 monster and a level 2 tuner. Some of you classic Junk Doppler players may be wondering where all the Doppler Warrior plays are. Well, we got plenty of those too. So for those of you who don't know, the classic flip is the summon Junk Synchron. Grab a level 1 tuner from the grave, special Doppel, sync 5 into Librarian, get our 2 Doppel tokens, sync 2 for Formula Synchron, and then draw 2. And we still have a pretty similar combo. However, ours takes out the Formula Synchron and tags in Double Star Shaman. The reason being that Double Star Shaman is one hell of an extender. The modern version of this play starts out just the same. We normal summon the Junk Synchron, special the Cybers, special Doppel from hand, sync 5, summon Librarian, get out our 2 tokens, and now here's where things change. We take our level 1 tuner and our level 1 token, and we Synchro summon Celestial Double Star. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Double Star revives Doppler Warrior, Librarian gives us our first draw. Now we're going to take our level 2 Double Star Shaman and our level 1 token, and Synchro summon the level 3 Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher effect will be Chainlink 2, and special summon Junk Synchron back to the field. Draw for Librarian. Now we're going to take our level 3 Junk Synchron and level 2 Doppler Warrior, and bring out the heart and soul of our deck, Junk Speeder. We are not going to activate Doppler Warrior's effect right now. Junk Speeder gives us 3 Synchron monsters, Stardust Synchron, a second Cyber Synchron, and the ever-lovable Junk Synchron. Then we draw for Librarian, Stardust Synchron's effect activates, and we grab a Riven Light. Now we're going to take our level 1 Cyber Synchron and our level 5 Junk Speeder, and Synchro summon Stardust Charge Warrior. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we draw 2,
Synchron and our level 6 Stardust Charge, and summon Blood Rose. Activate Librarian's effect here. Arrive and Light will not go off. Draw Wills, reveal and special summon. We'll summon Brotar from your deck. Activate Brotar's effect. So we'll discard a card that we've added from Librarian. Add Wyvern Buster to hand. Now we're going to take our level 1 Wills Dragon and our level 10 Blood Rose and summon Majestic Star. Don't forget to draw. Now we've got a couple options here. You can go ahead and sync 4 with Metal Marcher and Brotar to get out your Arclight, or you can banish a Dark Time from your grave, special summon Wyvern Buster, and then sync 8. That can be your Tenyi, your Stardust, your Chaos Roller, or your Omega, whichever level 8 you prefer. For right now, we're going to go ahead and say we summoned Stardust Dragon. We draw for Librarian, and now we're going to take our level 3 Junk Synchron and our level 5 Librarian and summon a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So our end board is a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon in the extra monster zone, a Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, a Stardust Dragon, both of which are protected by Arrive and Light, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Of course, maybe Doppler Warriors in the grave. So now we can go ahead and summon Junk Synchron, grab our Doppler Warrior, sync 5, summon Junk Speeder, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, we get our 2 tokens, and our Synchron lineup of Stardust, Junk, and Cybers. The Stardust effect activates on summon, we grab a Arrive and Light to hand. Take our Stardust Synchron and our level 1 token, and summon Hyper Librarian. Now we're going to take Cyber Synchron and our other Doppel token, and summon Double Star Shaman. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We revive the Doppler Warrior, and then we draw our first card. Now we take Junk Synchron and Doppler Warrior, and summon Garden Rose Maiden. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We summon our 2 Doppel tokens to the field. We draw 1. We sync 3. And summon Metal Marcher. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We go Junk Synchron to field again. Now we're going to go ahead and take our Metal Marcher and our Junk Speeder and sync 8 into Crystal Wing. It's important that we go into Crystal Wing here, because if we go into any other level 8, it'll become a Synchro tuner, but we want to use that level 8 to head towards Majestic Shooting. So now we activate Arrive and Light, place Willis on top of our deck, sync 8, and summon Stardust Dragon, Librarian effect, no Arrive and Light effect, draw Wills, reveal and activate, special summon Brotar. Don't forget to draw for that Librarian. Brotar's effect will activate. We can discard a card. Add Wyvern Buster to our hand by targeting Rose Dragon. And now we can make the big boy himself. Majestic Star. And then of course we draw. Now we can tribute our Librarian to special summon Stardust Synchron. We can banish a Dark Type from our grave to special summon Wyvern Buster. And now we get one more level 8 Synchro, which can be, once again, Chaos Roller, Tenyi, or Omega. And of course you get the Wyvern Buster effect, so you'll add Collapser into your hand. So we end the board with Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Shooting Star, and a level 8 of our choice.
Alright guys, so here's the deck list. We got 2 Stardust Synchron, 3 Junk Synchron, 1 Fleur, 2 Cybers, 1 Wills,
1 Levineer, 1 BLS, 2 Chaos Dragons, 2 Stardust Trails, 1 Zephyros, 3 Synchron Carriers, 3 Junk Converters, 2 Doppler Warriors, 2 Omni Dragon Brotars, 1 Jester Confit, 3 Tunings, 1 Rhoda, 1 Arriving Light, 1 Stardust Illuminate, a 1-for-1 a Foolish, a Reborn, 3 Chaos Space, a Dragon Ravine, and we end the main deck off with the Gamma package. So if you're wondering about the ratios, Stardust Synchron, you want it in your opening hand, but you don't want to be drawing into him. You want 1 for the opening play, and you want 1 in the deck for the speeder play. It's a great card. It searches for the Arriving Light or for the Stardust Illuminate. It's a great tuner in the grave, so we have Foolish Burial and Stardust Illuminate to help with that. We have the 3 tunings to help him get to that opening hand, but again, you really don't want to be drawing into him. He's an extender for us more than he is a play starter. The Junk Synchron is our main combo starter. He's the one that gets everything going. The deck is built around him getting to speeder as fast as possible. Of course, we do have backup plans in case it's not going to be Junk Synchron. You do have Stardust Synchron and the Jesters and the Omni Dragons, which is a little harder to pull off, but the options are there. Cyber Synchron also works alongside something like a Doppler Warrior or a Junk Converter or a Synchron Carrier by activating its effect, doubling their levels, and then you can go ahead and go 5 into speeder from there. But Junk Synchron is still the easiest option. Flush Synchron's here in case Junk Synchron gets negated and allows you to go into something like Supernova. It also acts as a little bit of an extender at times. It's great for synchro climbing through Stardust Charge, and it's got an effect that gives you an extra monster on the field after it uses a Synchro Summon material. We got 2 Cyber Synchrons. This card is insane for us. It's a level 1 tuner that's searchable via tuning. It's a Synchron monster, which means speeder can just pump it out, no problem. Cyber Synchron is absolutely insane for us. It's a level 1 tuner with level manipulation. It's summonable via Junk Speeder, it's searchable via tuning. It's all around a great card for us. I would love to have Unknown Synchron in the deck just because of that easy special summon effect, but not having 2 Cyber Synchrons is asking for trouble because if you hard draw the one, Unknown Synchron just doesn't have the versatility that Cybers does. If Jet Synchron were to ever come back, I'd have to put Jet Synchron in over one of the Cyber Synchrons, but until that day hopefully comes, Cyber Synchron will be our main level 1 tuner. Next up is Wills. You only want the one, it's searchable, so you're going to get it exactly when you need it. You don't want more than the one because you only need it for the one card in Majestic Shooting. Anything else and it'd just be a dead draw. Next up we got the Chaos package. After doing a lot of testing, the Chaos package is what makes the most sense with this deck. Omni Dragon has great synergy with little Chaos Dragons. Chaos Space gives you access to them easily, as well as these upper 2 level 8 monsters. But the reason we play the 2 level 8 monsters is because we have boss monsters in the deck now. Something that most Synchron decks lack. If we ever run out of our resources in our extra deck, or we're blocked off from the extra deck for whatever reason, having these 2 in the main deck really helps get us back on track. 2 Stardust Trails, it's just a really nice card to have in 2. You don't want 3 because at that point you're going to be drawing into it way too often, but you do want to see it alongside the Stardust Synchron very often, and we do run Dragon Ravine specifically to get this card in the grave. Zephyros is a pretty ridiculous card for us. It sets up a lot of plays in the deck. It helps set up Stardust Synchron. It helps Junk Synchron do his thing alongside Doppler Warriors. It's an easy 4 to get out for any of our other tuners. It recycles our Chaos monsters. Overall, a really great card. And it fits us in a lot of great combos that we didn't have time to show today. We have 3 Synchron Carriers. It means that we can play around Valor and Ash Blossom. It means that we get a free token generation off the Speeder Summon, which allows us to do insane plays. This card is an absolute must at 3. You want to see it in hand as much as possible. Junk Converter is one of the best search cards to ever happen to us. This card sets up Junk Synchron. It grabs any Synchron, including Synchron Carrier. This card is a must at 3. You either want to see it in hand or dump it to grave as fast as possible. We got 2 Doppler Warriors. I would love to have this card at 3 like the good old days, but we just don't have the graveyard tuners the way we used to. We no longer have Jet Synchron or Blow Up Bull. We have access to Plague, but the deck is just pretty tight. We could throw it in. It does have some nice little Niche plays. We could even run Dragoon if we run Plague Shredder, but overall we have to put Doppler at 2 because we just don't reliably have graveyard tuners anymore. We're running 2 Omni Dragon Brotars just in case you hard draw the one, because if you have Will's Dragon and the Omni's in hand, then you just can't summon it. So we're running 2 because you want that extra just in case. It's got great synergy with the Chaos engine, obviously. It's a dragon, so it's a dragon review target. It's a level 1, so it's a 1-for-1 target. It's a target for Junk Synchron. overall, a great card for us to have. Again, you want it at 2, and the effect is just absolutely insane for late combos. Next up is the One Jester. It's a free extender. It's a level 1 monster. Just a great monster to have overall for us. Next up we got Triple Tuning. You're playing Synchrons. This is such an amazing search card for us. Not only gets to add, we get to mill a card, sets up your hand and the grave. Just an overall amazing card, and best of all, it is not once per turn. Rhoda. Rhoda searches not only our Junk Synchrons, but our Junk Converters and our Doppler Warriors. It's Rhoda. What else do I have to say about it? Arriving Light and Stardust Illuminate. You only have them at 1 because they're searchable, and any more than that and they would just be dead draws. The Illuminate especially has a once per turn effect, so you don't want to be drawing it more than once, and if you have the Hyper Librarian going off, you are definitely going to see it more than once. And if you have your opening hand, you see 2 of these, you just feel sad inside. So we run the 1 for 1. Not only does it dump a monster into the grave, but it means we have constant access to Cyber Synchron, Will's Dragon, and our 2 non-tuner level 1s. Insane card. Foolish Burial. This card dumps Stardust Synchron, Cyber Synchron, Stardust Trail, the Zephyros, and the Junk Converters and Doppler Warrior into the grave and lets you easily set up the next play. Monster Reborn, self-explanatory. 3 Chaos Space. You want to be seeing your Chaos Dragons. You want to have the BLS and 11 year as backups. Worst case scenario, you get a free draw of its effect, and you get a discard fodder card. Dragon Ravine. You want Stardust Trail engraved as soon as possible so that Stardust Synchron is always going to be live. The Gamma package. Gamma is the best hand trap for us for one very specific reason. If we get Nibiru, we can tribute that token, and if they have any response in the form of Ash Blossom, or Gamma, or Ghost Bell, anything like that, our field is empty at that moment, meaning Gamma can hit the field, negate that, save Stardust Synchron, but the driver is the important part here, because now we have a free level 6 to sync with, meaning that Stardust Synchron is going to grab Arrive in Light, meaning we have Wills on top of our deck, a free level 6 and driver to sync with, we have Blood Rose, there, we have an instant way to get to shooting Majestic, and it's all because they Nibiru us. That is it for the main deck. The side deck you can experiment with a little bit. Really, we have to focus a lot on Drytron Hate because that is the deck's worst matchup, but everything else, just feel free to go kind of generic. As for the extra deck, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail and show you guys some options.
Alright, so now I'm going to give an overview on the extra deck and why I play the cards that I do, and potential options you can run if you want. Double Star Shaman and Metal Marcher, a level 2 tuner and a level 3 tuner, both revive monsters from the grave, both of them are amazing extenders. Herald of the Archetype, one of the best hand trap hit cards in the game, just an amazing monster overall. Free negate, it's an easy level 4. Hyper Librarian, it's your draw engine, it makes the deck go basically. Junk Speeder, it is the heart of the deck, it makes every combo live. Next up, I like to go with Garden Rose Maiden as my generic level 5 because it makes all of our dragons live again, and in a combo I didn't show, you summon Junk Synchron, grab Converters, Sync 5, summon Garden Rose Maiden, use Converter's effect to revive the Junk Synchron, and use Sync 8 in the Crystal Wing Dragon. So if they manage to get over your Crystal Wing, Garden Rose can banish itself from grave and revive the Crystal Wing. Really quick option for game 2 when you're afraid of Nibiru. Next up, we got our Lone 6 Stardust Charge Warrior. It's a Stardust monster, it gives us a free draw. It's mostly just here for synchro climbing. It's one of the fastest ways into Blood Rose, which is one of our fastest ways into Majestic Shooting Star. Next up is our level 7 monster. I went with Moonlight because I like the bounce effect, it's a dragon. But we have plenty of options. You can go Shooting Riser if you want some level manipulation and another dragon. You can go Clearwind if you want the dragon with a little bit different negate effects. There's Zeta if you want some disruption. There's Ancient Pixie if you want to run the Starlight Junction. Or Dragon Ravine, which I do run in this build. There's Deep Sea Prima Donna if you want a tuner with that level manipulation. And there's Quantum if you want to get over something like Dragoon. Level 8s, we got our Stardust Dragon. You don't have to run the Stardust Dragon, but if you're running Stardust Trail and Arriving Light protects it, I don't see why you wouldn't run the Stardust Dragon. Especially since something like Chaos Dragon does not get to really benefit off Arriving Light. Our next level 8 is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. If you're playing Synchros, this card is an absolute staple. Next up, we have a free spot for level 8s. I prefer Chaos Ruler, Tenyi, or Mega. It's up to you. I go with Chaos Ruler just because it benefits both from the Chaos engine I'm running and because it's a nice big level 8 dragon that can revive itself if necessary. Next up we have an open slot. It can be the Wolf Riot, it could be a Shen Shen, or it can be a Hot Red. It's really up to you. If you're not running the Chaos Ruler, obviously you don't run the Hot Red. Alternatively, if you're running the Pixie Dragon as your level 7, you can run the Hot Red. It's a little awkward, but it's doable. Alternatively, you can run Steam Synchron and King Calamity. King Calamity is a nice option because it means your opponent just can't do anything on their turn, meaning that you essentially get to do your turn 1 set of Junk Speeder, then on your opponent's turn bring out King Calamity, and just get a guaranteed next turn. Just be careful not to miss timing. Our last 3 slots are Blood Rose, Majestic Star, and Supernova. This card is absolutely insane. It just banishes the entire grave, but it's also the fastest way to get to Shooting Star. Shooting Star is of course our boss monster, and Supernova over here is just absolutely insane. It gains attack for every tuner in your grave, one of the easiest monsters to summon in the deck. Just an incredible powerhouse. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you like the combos. If you want to see more of this, I got plenty more Synchron builds. Got a couple of Virtual World builds. And I'm going to be trying to learn some other Synchro decks like TG and Speedroid and see what other busted ass things I can come up with. So if you want to see more tutorials like that, go ahead and leave a comment and I'll try to build the deck. Thanks for watching.